this might have been a mistake. And if you were wondering what Ja Morant was saying to Steph Curry on this play, this is what he said.
After game one, he came to me and Jaren and said it's going to be a battle. We're going to have some fun. And I was able to, return that message tonight, saying the same thing. So
now, I don't know about you guys, but if I was Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies, I would not consider what Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors did to Memphis in Game 3 very fun. And let me make this very clear, I am hoping Ja is healthy, and this has absolutely nothing to do with his injury, which was in no part due to Jordan Poole. Let's also make that very clear. Trying to compare the Dillon Brooks play to Jordan Poole's play is delusional. But focusing on what happened outside of the injury, the Golden State Warriors showed the Memphis Grizzlies and the rest of the NBA world why they are the best team in basketball, and more importantly, why they are built for the playoffs, which is something we have always known, but no other team has put up 140 points this postseason, but I guess no other team has a three-headed monster like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Jordan Poole. I mean, the Warriors are so good, they can play a game of Ring Around the Rosie during the second round of the playoffs and still blow out their opponents. Ring Around the Rosie. Now, obviously that's just a funny play, but the level of movement from everyone on this Warriors team was so evident in Game 3, and a player who won't get the same level of credit as the 4 stars on this team is ironically the third All-Star on the team from this year, and that's Andrew Wiggins. Just watch this play where JP and Dre run a high pick and roll. The Grizzlies step up, Draymond slips through, and pretty much the second Dre gets his feet in the paint, Wiggins is darting straight to the rim and finishing with a nice soft touch. Or on this occasion, where he's the one setting the high pick and roll and rolls straight to the rim. But it's much more than just the off-ball movement on offense. Andrew Wiggins and Otto Porter Jr. have been incredible on the offensive and defensive boards. Now, they're not going to get the credit because Steph and Poole have been lights out every single game, and we will talk about those two, don't you worry. But Wiggins and Otto are going up against the best rebounding team in the league during the regular season and doing a fantastic job. For example, on this play where Otto is good enough to seal out Ja before then grabbing the rebound and being strong enough to go up and draw the contact from Kyle Anderson without losing the ball. But with that being said, you guys didn't click on this video to hear about rebounding. You clicked on this video because the Warriors have the most dangerous backcourt in the NBA. And I'm not even talking about the man who dropped 21 points on 13 shots, or the man who has dropped 60 points in 3 quarters. Yeah, you know who that is. But Jordan Poole and Stephen Curry broke the Denver Nuggets, and I think they're about to break the Memphis Grizzlies. Through 3 games in this series so far, they're averaging a combined 53 points a game. But it's much more than that. The Grizzlies have had absolutely no answer for either of these guys, and Game 3 was the best example of that. Does this play from Poole remind you of someone? He crosses over Jaren Jackson Jr. before drawing Brandon Clark and making an exceptional wraparound pass to Looney, but he doesn't give up on the play. He sees the defense collapse on Looney and immediately relocates to the corner and splashes it home. I don't know about you, but that looks kind of familiar to me. Yeah, it looks like Steph Curry, who does something like that multiple times every single game. And that's what makes this offense so dynamic, because guys like Kevon Looney and Draymond Green have spent years building an incredible connection with Steph Curry that some teams never ever built. And now Jordan Poole comes in, and he's definitely not Steph Curry, but he's doing very similar things, which allows the Warriors to do so many of the things they do well with Steph, with Jordan Poole as well. Like on this play where Steph hands it off to Looney, and with the Grizzlies refusing to switch, Ja is trailing behind as Looney sets a screen. Poole does a very clean in and out dribble just to create a perfect angle to slip the pass in for a rolling Looney. And that's just a little glimpse of it, but the reason I'm highlighting these two guys in particular, not just because they're so good, but their ability to work together is elite. Here we have JP breaking down the defense. He then draws Steph's defender and passes it over to Steph, who then kicks it over to Draymond, who then sets a screen and hands it back off to Steph for the 3. Or how about on this play where Steph takes it off the dribble before Draymond sets an off-ball screen to get Poole matched up with Williams. And this is where it looks like a really simple play, but what makes JP and Steph so special is their ability to constantly attack immediately after they receive the ball. And if I pause it right here, you can see Williams has overcommitted, which allows Poole to slide straight past. And here's the catch. There's obviously a reason defenders are consistently overcommitting on these two guys. And it's because they are two of the best shooters in the league that don't stop moving, and it makes it impossible to guard. I think we need to truly appreciate what these two are doing right now. Jordan Poole has changed the game every single time he stepped foot on the floor in this series. The Warriors were down 10 points when he first checked into the game in Game 3. When he subbed out, 12 minutes later, they were up by 8 points. That's an 18-point swing in 12 minutes on the back of his ability to crush defenses off the dribble, and you're pairing that with Steph and Curry and spreading their minutes out? How are the Grizzlies supposed to stop it? Do I need to mention the fact Klay Thompson just refound his rhythm? And ultimately, this is why I don't think the Grizzlies have a chance. Because through 10 games in a row, Klay Thompson was playing lights out. He had 2 terrible games against Memphis in Game 1 and Game 2, and Memphis scraped a win in one of those games. Klay Thompson, if he can play like he did in Game 3, with what Poole and Curry are going to do they stand a chance? And that's without even mentioning the Warriors' defense. Defensively, the Warriors found a lot more success in Game 3 by going to a zone, and this zone forced the Grizzlies to do something they don't do fantastically, and that's shoot the ball. Like on this example where Wiggins and Steph are hedging behind Damian Lee to prevent Ja from getting downhill. And on this occasion, Wiggins isn't really interested at all in guarding DeAnthony Melton. He's pretty much daring him to shoot the ball while still making an effort to contest the shot, of course, because you'd much rather a DeAnthony Melton 3 than a Ja Morant drive to the rim. Or on this play, where this time Wiggins is the on-ball defender, they try to run a slip and roll with Williams to get him to the middle of the zone, which is often the place where you can puncture it, but Poole slides over and Wiggs does a fantastic job at getting his hands up to prevent the pass. They then eventually find Williams on the block, who is stonewalled by Klay before they are forced into a contested 3. And this is without even mentioning what Draymond Green has done defensively through these first 3 games. The offense is the main attraction, but don't forget the Warriors have been a top 5 defense 2 seasons in a row, and it's that combination of offense and defense that makes this team just impossible to stop right now. You still watching? You might as well drop a like and subscribe then. Have a good day. Bye.